Hi, greetings. Oh no, what's wrong with Ruka, Cyan? Right. Hi Lee and Cyan and Hui and Malvina, hi. Hey, Bisdick Bird. New people today. Aw, thank you so much, Hui. Hey, Mikey. Right. Okay, so today I thought I would be using the acrylic gouache to either do a terrible job with them, but I need some more practice with those, and I felt like using them, so. Oh no! Oh, what an unfortunate spot for a skin infection, Cyan. That sounds really bad. Poor Ruka. General itching and scratching. Yeah, Scout. I know I said this before, but I have two cats, Scout and Beko, and Scout is the tortie, and she's allergic to chicken. So yeah, she used to really scratch her face badly and have all sorts of scratches, like little wounds in her face, and she would throw up all the time. And we thought it was just, the usual cat throwing up things, because cats often throw up. But nope, it was chicken allergy. Yeah, this is like super Cyan friendly as a palette, because I have a neon green, neon yellow, a leaf green, kind of another green here, lemon yellow. Well, it looks a bit greenish. And I think this one is like mustard. Yeah. So this is my selection of acrylic gouaches. It's a bit random, and it has a bit of everything. It has neons, it has a lot of pastels, because I really like those. It has the gold and, well, it's a pale gold and silver. And what's this one? Naples yellow, okay. And I have white and black. You can tell I bought these some time ago, because I first bought the semi-opaque jet black and Chinese white. I don't know why I did that. This is not the most useful colors to have in gouache, because the strength of gouache, it's opacity. So after that I ended up buying titanium white and a small tube of primary black. And I think I probably have it, no, that's neutral gray. I think I have, oh yeah, lamp black. So I have these two. I'm not quite sure why this one is a primary black, because it's not made from the primary colors, but I don't know. Hey Trails! Please make more watercolor vids. In what sense? In what sense? I don't know if I keep... No, I'm not going to keep this on the table. There you go. On the floor. Oh no, Cyan! Good luck! Ruka has grain, rice, and potato allergy at least. I'm switching to raw diet. Oh no. He's a bit like you in that regards. I have a relative who has a lot of sleigh dogs, Alaskans and Malamutes, anyway, and they only eat raw meat. Like some dogs, they fare really well on a good old raw meat diet. Okay, so as you just saw me, I unwrapped this. This is fairly new. It's a paper palette, and it's made by Holbein, and it's gray. The interest of this is that the gray is more of a neutral color, so you can see your light colors better on this than on white. Though white is fine, it's just this one was available, so this is the one I got. And I like to use disposable palettes for acrylics, because you can't really reuse them once they're dry. So dog and cats are all on raw diet here. Function wheels. Oh, I don't think I could have my cats on a raw diet. We tried to give them like holistic food at the beginning, and it was too intense for them. It gave them trouble. It was like too much protein, and they had a hard time processing it. But yeah, then we had to switch to food with the least chicken possible in it. I'm getting some brushes because I just realized that I didn't take out any of my synthetic. All right. So I got these out. This one needs a bit of a small fix. Doop, doop, doop. I always fix my brushes with washi tape. All right, so palette. Got some big water containers here. I don't know if you can see them. Hi. And these are the drawings I sketched out earlier. So we have a beach cat and we have adventure cat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink these up with, I think I'm going to use like these simple fine liners. Oh no, they're water-based. Not sure if these are waterproof. Hold on. I need something waterproof. What's this? Oh, this is so small. Yeah, I am prepared. I'm running my brain. Where did I put the thing I'm looking for? Possibly in here. Yeah, I think. Nope. Nope. Okay, better. Pickle. Can you see the... Oh, you can't see the kitty. Boop. Hey, artsy fartsy lovers. Oh, all right. Oh, that's interesting, Malvina. Malvina says that Zygmunt, who is her magpie, hates fruits and veggies, and in fact he should eat everything. Huh. Hey, do you want to be on camera, baby? What's up with you, kitty cat? Yita. Yita, Pipette. Cuckoo. Cuckoo, Pico. Oop. No. You don't get to keep the elastic, the rubber band. Boo, boo, boo. You're not showing your profile well, right? She's so happy. She's pawing the table. Hmm. He wants to eat chicken, eggs, and cheese. Ziggy is a funny one. Hmm. Ça tu veux, hein? Non, non, mange-le pas. C'est con. Il est quoi? T'es sur la chaise? There you go. Bun Bun loves banana. Oh, that's adorable. All right. I wanted to use this these acrylic gouache for today because I am trying to get through this Moulin du Roy paper pad, and it is absolutely no good for watercolor the way I paint. So I thought maybe if I can use it for something like acrylic, and the only acrylics I really have and enjoy is acrylic gouache, so that's that. Hey Abel! Hi! Well, I don't have the camera anymore, so hi! How is everyone's weekend so far? Is is the weather getting warmer for you as well? Over here it's kind of funny because it's really warm lately. So we have these huge water puddles, like insanely big, like about a couple of feet deep. The kind that even if you step in them with rain boots, it's gonna top the rain boot and you'll get a boot full of water. I'm not being super precious about the inking here because I'm gonna cover this all in paint. I'm basically inking it just so I can still see my lines when it's covered in paint. This is Moulin du Roy. It's the paper I don't like. Kinda. Dominican Republic is a tropical island, so it never gets cold. Huh. Yeah. Fair point. I have had a hard time to use acrylic gouache on paper. What kind of paper, Cyan, have you tried? Hey, Lena! Kitty butt. Yeah. Whoop whoop. Moulin du Roy hot press. I was planning on trying Moulin du Roy hot press as well for gouache and acrylic gouache because, like I said, it's not super great for watercolor, that paper. Hey, Jill! Hi! I usually can work out the resist spots on paper better if I'm using gouache. Like watercolor, there's no way to sort of save it, but with gouache I've had some like better luck, but Yeah, I've yet to try with the... this is my first attempt using acrylic gouache on Moulin du Roy, so hopefully it's gonna work out. Otherwise this might make for a kind of a weird stream, but yeah. What's the difference between hot and cold press paper? Hot press is really, really smooth, like Bristol smooth, like it's really soft, and cold press has a bit of a texture. It's not going to be as soft. Hey, Stephen, hi. Sometimes I don't remember what I put on the sketch. I'm like, what was this blobby thing that's sort of ill-defined and weird? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that's the line for this or that then. All right. How are you so confident with your line art? I can't get fluid lines. Well, I'm not necessarily, I don't know, I don't feel that confident. I guess maybe I am. It's just, oops. I've been doing this for a really long time, so trying to think what kind of tips I could give to get more confident lines. Well, practice is one. Sometimes you can just grab a sheet and just practice doing lines, and you do things like I had scrap paper earlier. Where has that gone? Okay. So let's say you take a blank sheet of paper, printer paper, and you just practice doing lines like this that do not touch each other, or you start with the circle and you try to make a circle around it, and you try to make another circle around it that doesn't touch. And there's a bunch of line exercises that you can do. But I guess it also depends on how you draw. I mean, I'm not saying there's not one proper way to ink. There's, you know, many proper way to inks. Proper ways to ink. Made it. Yeah, Mikey, you're right. Hot press, the one that is super smooth, is often used for really precise work, while cold press, you can't be as precise on cold press. Hey, Lewd Donut. I love your name. Hey, Grace. 'Grace! 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 ' that's done. I'm also gonna erase this one, so I apologize if the camera gets shaky a bit. All ready to go. Start with this one. Colors for the cat. I'm gonna grab these and this one. So I have this color for the ground. Oh, I'm so glad you like them, Lena. I'm really, really happy you like them. Oh no, poor Henry. Are you gonna get him newticles? No, I had to bring that up. Okay, I'm gonna start with that and I'll see where it takes me. Absolutely not. Okay, so I will try to tackle this area, the background first, because I think I'm gonna try for sort of a gradient. Oh, I'm really glad you like them, Lena. Yay. I'm gonna have a shop update soon-ish. I have pans drying at the moment. They're possibly due for... but this is what I have right now. That's fairly dry. It's dry as well. That's not... that's still soft. That's dry too, so... just have to wait until everything's fully dry and then I can top them off for those that need to be topped. Some are really generous. It's fine. But yeah, so when this stuff that is for sale here, because that's not exactly for sale, that's weird leftovers. When all this is dry and good to go, I have to wrap them and then I'm gonna have a shop update. Not on Etsy. I closed down my Etsy because I don't really trust Etsy at this point, but I will have a temporary shop on my website and I will like advertise it, so yeah, that's gonna be that. And I have a really special thing going on with this update. I have 2 full pans of salmon. The new red is Naphthol Red Medium, I think, like the bright one. It says Naphthol Red on the pans. This is Naphthol Red. This is Hansa Yellow Medium. That's shimmer paints. Shimmer paints. That's Zirconium, Cerulean, and those are the salmon. Yeah, and that's, like I said, the weird ones. It's still soft, like, I don't know if you can see, but I can press on this. These are not dry. Oh, I forgot to take out my medium. Oh, I have it here. Yay! Yay, my brain. I like to use airbrush medium for really diluted colors because it's really liquid and it's matte. Well, mostly matte. So it doesn't really affect the paint much, and it will keep it stronger than if I just use water. I am not super like I'm not all that experienced. I'm more experienced with watercolors, so I expect there to be a bunch of mistakes. That's okay. I'm just warning you, so if you guys are thinking like, wow, Ev has no idea what she's doing, you're right. That's funny, Mikey. Of course, there's gonna be cat hairs in my painting. That's a given. Oh, I'm painting with acrylic gouache. I felt like doing something a bit different today, so that's that. Hey, Ramblings from Canada! Hi! It's nice to see you here, wow! How have you been doing? Or how are you doing? Hey, can you use your paddleboard in the lakes we have now that the snow is melting? Oh my gosh, there is so much water everywhere over here, it's insane. I wish you would have a lot of places where you could do that if you could, because oh my gosh. Seriously, like we have a couple of parks nearby, and I know Mr. E posted a picture about one he saw, but like the size of the pool of water is just, it's just insane. It's huge. So there is one thing I really like about acrylic gouache is that making gradients and making backgrounds is really forgiving. Like you can just really follow your instinct and just do something, and if it doesn't really pan out well, you can rinse your brush, you get some more fresh color, and you could almost start from scratch if you wait until it's dry. Like it's really forgiving. You can fix things, you can adjust things, and it's a lot easier than if you do it with say watercolors, which are not quite as forgiving. Also, generally, I like to use flat brushes for gouache. I don't know why, it's just the way it sort of works out in my brain. Even if it's traditional gouache, I really like to use angled or flat brushes. because I think it gives a bit more character. Since it's not transparent paint generally, if you can have something happening with the strokes and the way you handle the paint, it's a bit more interesting. While if you have watercolor kind of reacts differently, and since it's transparent and you have like granulation sometime, it creates its own texture, which is not something that is easy to do with this here. So I'm taking a bit of yellow ochre. Dog hair too, yeah. I mean, any kind of pet hair. I would say that possibly even bird fluff, because I know that birds, they have like this duvet thing, and I'm pretty sure they lose a bit of it as well. So. Does people hair count? Yeah. Oh. I have noticed that acrylic gouache is even more forgiving than regular acrylics, because they dry matte, there is always something, yeah, to grip on them. Yeah, that's true. And also I think it helps hiding brush strokes, so that helps. Like regular gouaches can be so glossy that I think it's probably hard sometimes to like hide the brush strokes in there. Oh, you just saw the cat. Yes. We have the cat cam going on today. Hold on. There you go. Close up. She really enjoys being here with me during the live streams. It's the only time that she will really specifically come, and I think she knows. She's got to know at this point that she's on camera and you people can see her, and she's like, ooh, I'm a star. So I will let this base layer dry, and I will switch around to the next painting. And I'm gonna grab some new colors for this one. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna need some sandy colors for the same as that's beige. Crapeau. Yeah, okay, these. And then sky colors. Definitely this one. And this one. I've seen someone on Instagram embroider with bird feathers. Wow. Ooh, that's gotta be pretty. Thank you. It was effortless in a way, because all you do is you it's kind of like what Bob Ross does when he paints in color, is you just use all the angles of your brush, and since the gouache is thicker a bit, it's much easier to get around stuff. And it's kind of a different approach than watercolor. You know, when watercolor you let the colors mingle and mix together. Well, with opaque stuff, I try to control it more. And you decide, like, I could have, I wouldn't need as many colors if I was painting in watercolor, but since this is, I guess I could mix my own colors, but since this is like different, this is opaque, I like to have the color I need almost fresh from the tube. That way, if I run out of a color, I can just grab the tube and have a go again, and I'm not completely at a loss. I can still make my I don't have to remix a color that I might not get properly, if you know what I mean. Yeah, see, you can use like every angle of your brush. I think that's why it's fun to use a flat brush for this, is that you can have wide strokes, and you can also come in for details with the side of the brush. And these are like really inexpensive brush, so I wouldn't recommend getting super expensive brushes for acrylic, even if it's acrylic gouache, any kind of acrylic paint, because it is plastic paint technically. So it is gonna mess up your brushes eventually. So if you can get some cheap ones, it's really for the best, and then they feel less precious, and you don't feel like as worried about mishandling them. Manhandling them? Anyway, like going really rough on your stuff with them. Question, is there a brand you'd recommend to start with acrylic gouache? Well, I really like Holbein. It's not, it's a bit expensive. It's, how can I say? But I think it's really good quality. I know that Turner has acrylic gouaches too. But Turner, you have to be careful because they have a range that is called Japanesque, and they have like a gritty texture to them, and it's not as fun to use as the really smooth ones. I've painted a bit with the Turner ones. They're fine, really nothing wrong with them. They're perhaps a tiny bit less opaque than Holbein would be, but they're also much cheaper. So it really depends on what you're aiming for. I'm gonna try something here. I don't know if it's gonna work, but is the acrylic easier than the traditional gouache? Yes, it is, because it dries and you cannot reactivate it. So if you want to layer stuff, it's much easier to do so with acrylic gouache, because once it's dry, it won't budge, and you can layer stuff on top, and it's gonna be there. You know, it's not gonna move. I'm wondering if the gouache reactivates my ink a bit, because I think you can see like darker areas. Not sure at all. So I want to try and create this really warm glow at the edge of the shadows. So that's why I'm putting some of this super loud kind of yellow color here. And then I'm going to paint over that with a much more muted color. And I'm going to see then if it works. If it doesn't work out, I can just cover it up again with opaque paint once it's dry. I don't really like regular acrylics because they are glossy, and you kind of always see the brush strokes in them because of that. I don't know, I have a really hard time making them work for me. Like, I've tried to play with them on jelly prints, but it doesn't really work out all that. Otto! Hi! Hold on. Of course I am rolling all over my cable. Hi! I really don't understand why they call it gouache, because it's matte. Yep, that's basically why they call it gouache. It's because it's matte. Yeah, the clocks did go back last weekend, I think. Maybe. No worries. I'm just glad you're here, because this is such a weird situation right now with you being in Japan and all of that. Okay, I need the sky colors now. Spring ahead, fall back. Ah, that's clever. Yeah, because 3 time zones wasn't enough. What is it like now? It's a lot of time zones. I can't even figure it out on the fly. There's another thing that I really like about acrylic gouache, is that you can use it on just about any kind of paper, as long as it's you know, has a good thickness. Like, don't try it on anything that's too thin. That's always like annoying. But if you have a paper you don't really like, you can always try to put some gouache on it and see if that makes it more usable. Like, I had a sketchbook that I really didn't like, so I did a couple of gouache studies in there, and it was definitely more enjoyable, even if it was still bad paper. And it had like these weird areas where the paint would react weirdly. Since it's gouache, I can layer it, so eventually I layered enough gouache that it covered the part that was weird. Oh, it's nearly 4 a.m. Ah, yikes. Yes, yes, it's all send like good energy and good vibes towards Otto's mom. And Otto as well, because it's not super easy to care for someone who's sick. oh my gosh, the Holbein ink. First of all, I looked at that picture for a solid 10 minutes and I was like, wow, going from one color to the next and trying to see, oh, what is this one? This is so pretty. The thing is that Holbein has two ranges of inks. I have the special inks, which are the ones that are opaque and waterproof. They also have regular watercolor inks, which are the ones with all the jewel-like hues and like the bigger range. I was curious to know how expensive they are in Japan, just so I can laugh at the price we pay for them here. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to the other drawing. Well, from the picture you sent me, Otto, all the watercolor inks were the ones at the top, and then you had a row at the bottom, which I recognize as the special ones that are the ones that are opaque and waterproof. Hey, Joy Decision, hi. Oh, that's so cheap. Oh, it's almost insulting. We pay so much more for these things here. It's normal because you have the import fees and all of that, but I can sort of see why there are so many creative people. Like I see it more from people who are in Japan or people who lived in Japan or Japanese people, but they draw a lot more than the people have seen here. Like even if they never took like art classes and all of that, if they journal, they will just draw, say they have a kid, they will draw the kid crying, and it's a lot more visual than what I'm used to seeing here, so I'm always super excited. I paid $12 Canadian for the bottles here, so it's almost 3 times the price. But 430 yen for the Holbein watercolor inks is sort of really awesome. Hi, Sophie. Okay, so that's the other. I'm gonna end up confused with all these tubes, but hopefully it's gonna work out. So first thing I'm noticing is that even if I took ink that is waterproof, it kind of reacts to the acrylic a bit, which is weird, which is not something I would have expected, but now I know. Okay. Also, since I kind of paint a bit perhaps transparent, perhaps I should have used a gray pen instead of a black one, because it's not really covering up much, but I can always do a second layer, which is what I'm gonna try doing right now. Let's see. What are the Holbein inks? The Holbein inks are the ones I've been using to ink up my watercolor drawings lately. They come in these bottle with an eyedropper kind of top, and they come in the little plastic jars. Hold on, I can possibly reach for one in a moment. Where did I put that? These. So this one is special red. It's opaque and waterproof. So I kind of like to ink with these because I can put watercolor over and it's absolutely not gonna move at all. It's like magic. Holbein has stopped selling the drawing inks range. They had the drawing? So they still have the watercolor ones, but the drawing ones were something different? Oh, really? No! Don't stop selling the good stuff, Holbein. No! I think they want you to move on to their acrylic inks. They have acrylic inks? Hold on, I'm really trying to think if I've seen those before. The acrylic inks, but it's not the same. They don't have these the same like sparkly jewel tones. No, 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 I disapprove of this. I disapprove greatly. Here's the acrylic inks range. They have a massive color range. Yeah, but acrylic is not the same. Ugh. And acrylic inks, they're not matte usually. No. No. Please don't. No. Why? I'm just so sad. You know, like, Lindsay did these really awesome videos about the KonMari method and how not to hoard stuff. And she would have this this part that would say you store things at the store, like you don't have this thing, but if you need it, you just go and buy it. But I'm always done in by the fact that I think, oh yeah, I can just leave it at the store, and then I go to buy it and I realize that they don't make it anymore. And I'm like, what? No! So, yeah. Not a completely foolproof method. And I'm making a huge mess because I'm all flustered. So the ones you sent me a pic of, these are the ones that are slowly being phased out, right? What a bummer. Like, waterproof inks are really, really useful. And I don't want the acrylic imhos, no. Oh no, 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 no! I've been trying to. Well, I'm glad I sort of got them all, except for the white. But yeah, I can live without the white, I guess. But I'm really bummed out. How can they do this to us? No, please don't. Yeah, but the thing is that at some point, place is limited. Mr. E is not always happy that I have like hordes of stuff in there. He's kind of like, you could afford to do some cleanup. And I'm like, yeah. No, that was what was written on the. I saw the text on the tags, but I couldn't read it because it's in. It's small and in Japanese, so my heart is broken. My heart is broken. I got done in with a similar item from Holbein. They had these travel kits that were called Pro Campo, and they were really neat, in my opinion. They were like a small box with a rounded top, I think, and you would open it. You had mixing palette, you had either tubes or pans, and you had like a small bottle and a brush and all of that. And it was like, that's a kind of a lot of money. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna buy it later. But guess what? They stopped making those, and I was never able to find one. So I was like, noises and noises. But yeah, so now it happened to me enough in my life that when I see something that I expect to be limited or to be a unique item or to not be there forever, I kind of have a harder time saying, oh well, I'm just gonna leave it there. And it's like, nope, I have credit cards, fine. That's what's gonna happen here. And I'm gonna find ways to figure it out later. I don't do this with a lot of things, mind you, but art supplies is one of them. I get really flustered. Oh, it's okay, Otto. I'm glad I know from you, because I would hate even more to find that out later. Like, and be like, oh, why? Oh no. So I'm a bit bummed out because I've finally found inks that I really enjoy using, and well, I'm gonna have to make the most of these tubes. Fortunately, they're really like generous, not tubes but bottles, and I don't use a lot of ink when inking, so they will last me for a long time. Still, just annoyed, really annoyed. As long as they have their usual watercolor range, I should be able to survive. Like, I really like liquid watercolors, but they're a bit hard to use. So, I will be sad, and I'm gonna be remembering it with fondness, but I will also just focus on what I can use, perhaps, instead of what I can't find. Sorry, long rant. I've been clearing out some supplies. There are a few that I can give to a friend who has a sort of creative... I only have the word in French in my head. It's the word in English. Well, basically what she does is she uses like any kind of art supplies, and she has many kids that come over her place, and they have like a fun creative time with her, and she lets them use all the supplies they want, and they can, you know, just draw and be free to do whatever they want. So when I have extra supplies that are possibly not necessarily professional level, but good supplies, like I gave them a bunch of my cellulose paper because the kids, they're going to be fine using it, but I'm just unable to use it now. So it's the kind of stuff. Not hoarding is art, especially if one has had to do with thought in the past or present. Yes, I agree. I'm not necessarily in that position, but I really know what you mean. Like, I can see it in some of my relatives. Like I said, my grandma, who was alive during World War II and had nothing, so now she tends to hoard a bit. And that's okay. I mean, I completely understand the mindset. It's really not easy to wrap your mind around the idea that something you were once really needed is now super readily available, and you can get it for like that. So it's hard to just go, oh, I'm gonna leave it there, you know. think what I'm going to do about the Holbein watercolor inks, if I can, is I'm also going to try and find all the beautiful product pictures they might have took and save them, so I can look at the beautiful jewel tones forever and keep them in my heart. I'm really making a fuss about this, am I? Okay. I really, really don't like this kind of situation. It usually wreaks havoc on my brain. Like, if I can buy something that is gonna go out of stock, there's a whole fight going on in my head. Like, is it worth it to buy a bunch of it? And I'm like, yeah, are you gonna use it first? And then are you gonna be really stuck if it runs out and you don't have any more? Like, are you gonna be able to function without it? And it's, yeah, it's a, oh no. Otto, we need a support group where we can share our sadness about, oh, sorry, about long gone things that we used to rely on. Question, can you use wax paper for an acrylic palette? Possibly. I guess you could. Like, I don't think this is... oh, this goes really well. I haven't never tried with a wax paper, but you can always try. See, like, just put a bit of paint on it and see if it works out the way you want it to. You might need to like tie it down to a white sheet of paper or something, because it is semi-transparent and it tends to be curly because it is stored away in a tube, like around the tube. It will be overrun with people who love the old Queen Gold. Yeah, we can give them a thread. Like, let's give them a place to cry about the old Queen Gold, and we can be in the area of people who cry over long gone Holbein products. That's probably why Schminke is making a lot of money out of from me, because they always come out with these like limited edition special thingies, and I'm like, ooh, limited edition special thingies, hold on, I have a credit card. Just you wait. Have you ever purchased from your Holbein from Amazon Japan? No, I think most of the Holbein stuff I've seen on Amazon Japan, they wouldn't ship to me. I was able to get knicker paints from Amazon Japan. I have yet to test these out and review them. I got like a really small set, nothing fancy. But I've never really tried the Holbein stuff. I usually buy my Holbein products either from, well, you're in Canada, Rambling, so if you know of Wallach's, they have good things. They have good Holbein products. But aside from them, I would buy from eBay mostly, because eBay usually ships from people in Japan. It's people in Japan reselling this stuff, and since they have access to it for a really low price, it's usually a better deal. Usually. F must have limited edition. Yeah. Not that I like it, but it's the way my brain works, so I'm dealing with it the best I can. Oh, Ramblings, were you able to order Holbein from Amazon Japan? But yeah, look them up. Wallach's. It's WALLACK''S. They are in Ontario. They're really nice. They have the Holbein inks that I showed, and they have like palettes for really cheap. I bought a bunch of the palettes because I want to set up my Holbein collection in a more efficient way, and it was like $5 per palette, which is the best I've seen around here. And they're Canadian, so I feel fine using their stuff. I don't feel Like, if I can, I will try to buy from Canadian places, if only to save on customs and shipping. Oh yeah, and wallets have free shipping from like $50. Like, it's really easy to get free shipping from them, and they're super nice. Oh, you were able to get your Holbein from Amazon Japan. I will keep note of that for future references. I'm really, really liking Holbein products and Schmincke products lately. They've been my go-to. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's just not savvy to buy local. That's another thing. Like, if I want to buy Schmincke locally, the price tag is really, really brutal, like painful. So, well, I usually get my Schmincke from Jackson's because Jackson's sells it at a better price. And shipping is decent, and like, it's usually fine at customs. I have had good luck with customs and Jackson's, so I don't really and I just put medium all over my fingers. So there's a few things like Sennelier and Schmincke that if I try to buy locally, I'm just going to run out of money so super fast. And also, they don't sell everything locally. If I want Schmincke half pans, they don't have that. They only sell like 15 milliliters tubes, and the series ones are like $20. Oh, yes, yes. Ramblings, check out Jackson's. Like, the shipping to Canada, if it's not something too big or too heavy, is usually like a couple of pounds. It's like, on average, it's like 1 to 3 pounds I've seen, which is really not a lot of money considering. Like, I'm used to shipping fees to Canada as being around like $15 to $20. So yeah, I'll take that $5. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, exactly. Did you notice, Ramblings, that the I'm calling you Ramblings, I hope it's okay, but the Daniel Smith paints locally have hiked in price so freaking much. They went from like $12 to $16 for Series 1. Okay, another good feature of acrylic gouache is that if you are in the same situation I am right now, that the for some really unpleasant reason, the paint is picking up your ink or whatever you laid down. If you put the first layer of gouache on top of everything, it's going to seal it. So if you let that dry and then you put more paint on top, it should not pick up the ink color. Oh, that's good, Sukabu. Yes! Yes, giant tube of opera! I would high-five you if I could. It's the best opera. It's my favorite. It's so freaking loud and beautiful. Oh, that's great, Amisha. That's really nice. Oh, online you can really find good deals, and I don't know where you are located, but if you are like in the US, it's really, really easy to get good deals. Like, you have all the Jerry's and Big Lick and... Oh, yeah, Alexandra, by all means, try... What's your favorite color? And get that one from Holbein and see if you... Like say your favorite color is dark blue. Well, you look at the dark blue stuff that Holbein offers and you get one. They are really, really fun paints to use because they re-wet super well. They have a very, very consistent texture. Like you don't end up with some pans, some colors that will dry super hard in your palette and will like remove themselves from the palette and float around, while you have others that will stay sticky. It's always really reliable in terms of texture. And they offer a lot of really useful colors, especially for illustration with all the pastel colors that are pre-mixed, that are really, really handy for stuff like flowers and just like certain lighting situations that really benefit from these colors. Hey Lee, hi! How are you? Like I say often, the best is always what you have access to that is affordable and a good quality. But if you have access to a bit of everything, that's when recommendations are perhaps more useful. Because yeah, if you only have access to like M. Graham, it's awesome. It's a really good paint, it's really lovely, it's easy to re-wet, the colors are intense. But yeah, if you only have access to Holbein, Holbein is equally good. And you know, you just need access to a paint. The paint itself, as long as it's professional range, should be fine. Oh, really? Both cherries and cheap Joes now accept PayPal, which lets. How expensive is the shipping then? That's true. M. Graham is not the best for portability because it tends to stay sticky if you are in a really humid environment. Daniel Smith and Holbein for the summer, that sounds good. And Opera Pink is definitely a summery color, so that's good. Raw umber. Yeah, it's supposed to be greenish, usually, right? It's like this greenish muted brown. Oh yeah, that Queen Magenta. I was watching Otto's video and I was like, this Queen Magenta is really pretty. And then I sort of looked at my pile of Holbein tubes and I was like, you know what? I don't think I have any of the Queen colors except for Queen Gold. And I was like, wow, talk about missing the point here with my color choices. So that prompted me to really inventorize my paints and realize which colors are definitely like missing. Though I gotta say that Magello version of the color was pretty awesome as well. I just don't know what to expect of Magello in terms of reliability. Like, I'm not familiar enough with them. I haven't really had the experience with these paints that I have had with other companies like Holbein. Like for me, Holbein paints have always been around here, and I mean they were not offering a lot of Holbein products. For the longest time, I didn't even know it was Japanese. Like it just was, you know, this one type of paint that was more affordable than, say, Winsor & Newton. So I would get that one because I was like, hey, they have a really nice pastel blue, so let me grab that instead of whatever overpriced Winsor & Newton paint they would have. That was not even the right color I wanted. But yeah, so when I see Mugello and I'm like, they have these claims that I cannot substantiate for myself, so I just find it weird. Is there a Canadian professional paint supplier in like a chain of art supply store or a local maker of paint? Lee says, yeah, I order Schmincke through Jackson's because if I buy it in Canada, it is the most expensive brand. It is. And paint in general is already like twice the price of elsewhere. I agree. Oh my gosh, like Winsor & Newton is so overpriced here. It's silly. No wonder people buy Cotman. The art supply stores in Canada mostly carry a selection of foreign brands, especially for watercolor. If you are more into oils, I think you have the Kama pigment oils that are made locally. They also have oil pastels and caustic paint, I think. Tree art paints, yeah, but they would have more like acrylics. I don't think we have a watercolor brand for here that is made in Canada. I'm loving this discussion, by the way. Yes, yes, all the paint nerdery. That's good. That's really good. Oh no. Oh, that's so sad. The dry decision. Probably just acrylic and a zillion mediums. Yeah, tree art has a lot of mediums. I've seen them around, especially with the like popularity of pouring, acrylic pouring. Anyway, you know, that thing. They all have their own pouring medium now. If I was really into regular acrylics, I would probably try out anything that is made locally, because why not? Same for oils. If I was into oils, I would definitely try the Kama pigment oils. That's the store where I buy a lot of my pigments. So it's fascinating, but at the same time, I'm not into oils, so yeah, my paints are made locally, of course. The thing is that watercolor lasts for a really long time usually too. So I've already made paints for Lee. Lee is the first person who I made a custom order for, I think. I don't usually make custom orders, but hers was really, really, really easy to sort of fulfill. But yeah, the pans, they last a long time. Hey, inking is joy. Hi. Locally, it's in right in your house locally. One of the Canadian art chains has a good price on M. Graham. Is it Curry's? Or are you love-hate relationship with M. Graham? I also apologize if throughout talking I've used the wrong pronouns for someone. That's really not my intention. I hope it was a good bath, Trails. Oh wow, Phil, that's a really nice find because manganese blue is really rare now. Oh yeah, I remember the thing you posted about the possibly the hardness of the water. Honey crystallizing due to temperatures. That could really well be. Nope. Pudding paints. It makes me laugh a lot. That's really funny. Thanks, Hannah. I'm still having a bit of a hard time with the fact that I apparently used this more transparent than I thought. So the lines are really visible through the paint. But you know, I'm still learning, so I don't really let it bring me down, if I can say that. Is it really the hardest water in North America? The water here is really, really hard as well. Really? Really? Hi, baby. What's up? Oh. Flip-a-doo. Flip-a-doo. Hey. Oh, wow. Oh no. That's really bad. I was waiting for the outburst of love towards Pico from Otto. I was saying in the beginning, Otto, I don't know if you heard me at that moment, but Pico, I think she's used to being on live stream now. She will seek it out, like she will come to see me and sort of ask to be like on camera or on the chair, which she doesn't usually, you know, look for these things that way. I think she's really enjoying it, and I think that's really cute. Question: does anyone else have problems with nickel azo yellow making hard dark edges? Ramblings from Canada said, when you in answer to the question, what is the difference between normal water and hard water? Ramblings said, well, when you have to keep buying water heaters and tea kettles, you have hard water. She was there. Yeah, she was there the whole time. Wants to start every live stream. Yes. I much prefer to have the camera on her than on me, so I'm good with this. She's like a million light years cuter and fluffier. Boop, boop. I can clean up my kettle with vinegar. Like I boil it up, I fill it water, boil it, then add vinegar, leave it overnight, and then I empty it, rinse it, boil fresh water in it, rinse it again, and it's cleaner. But within a week, it's full of scale again. It's like Well, you tried. Yes, she's just a ball of fluff with tiny ears. You can see that this yellow is absolutely transparent. So yeah, like I said in my video where I compared gouache and acrylic gouache and acrylics and watercolor, the fact that it's gouache does not always mean it will be transparent, in the sense that if a pigment is opaque, it's going to be opaque, and if a pigment is transparent, it's going to be transparent. That's just the way it works. So you cannot really go to one medium in the hopes that it will be consistent. You really have to experiment and play with it. I wish I was that cat on the beach. Oh yeah. Well, I wish too, because there's an umbrella, so I would be fine with it. I wouldn't be burning too much. Yeah, I don't think it would be possible to be more consistent, because if you want to have the transparent pigments be opaque, either you fill the paint up with it, but like it's gonna rub off like crazy, or you add an opacifier in it and it's not gonna be as bright. I really don't know how they could do this in a way that works, you know. I'm putting a bit of yellow base layer on everything here because I want to see if it's gonna convey this light feeling from the parasol being a bright color. Like, it should technically transfer some of its light to everything under it, but it's something that I usually know more how to do in watercolor. I haven't experienced with gouache a lot, so I'm really improvising here, and hopefully, well, it's either going to be successful and I'm going to be like, huh, or it's going to be a great learning experience if it doesn't work out. It looks like a lemon cat. Yeah. Yeah, I guess what I'm taking away from this session, the first most important thing is that with the way I tend to use these paints, I really should find a gray pen to outline my art before painting on top of it, because black is really too dark and I don't use these paints in an opaque enough way, so I end up having all these lines showing through, which is not exactly what I was aiming for, but yeah, gonna make do with it. Donate a piano, wow. I think the main issue with pianos is that they are heavy and you can hardly move them around by yourself. So even if someone is donating a piano, it's not everyone that can pick it up. And there's not that many buyers for old pianos either. So even if you give them to the charity counters, sometimes they might not take it because they're like, well, we're going to be stuck with this item for a really long time because no one is going to buy it. Oh, apartment style. Cool. Okay, that's better. I know my brother had one in his house and he was really It was perhaps a smaller-ish piano, but still, I mean, what can you do with that? Usually with gouache, the darker a color is, like if you see this blue-green color, the more transparent it will be. Even if this one says that it's PG7 and PW6, so pigment green and pigment white, it's really more green than pastel green. So it's really transparent, which is why I'm gonna add the second layer of exactly the same color on top of the first one to see if it evens it out. Because it's not all that even right now. It's a bit patchy. Oh, it's okay. No one here is gonna say anything about typing skills. We all have hands for painting, not typing. Oh, hi Dante. Good boy. Oh, I forgot my tea. Crud. It's gonna be so lukewarm. Oh no, it's full. I really forgot it. I don't think I took a sip from it. It's really cold now. Cold tea trigger alert. It's a good thing Dan is not here. I don't think he would appreciate me forgetting my entire mug of tea. I don't have a microwave, so I can't really reheat tea. What is this TV series called The Order? What is it about? Yeah, the office is a mess. It's entirely my fault. I am the one with all the unnecessary extra stuff. Mr. E doesn't really stashes up on stuff the way I do. I am trying to clear it up a bit. It's easier said than done. Werewolf, magic, magicians, etc. Oh yeah, I think I saw. It's on Netflix, is it? I remember the trailer now. We've been watching Kingdom, which I'm really surprised I'm okay with because it's a zombie thing, and I have really have a hard time with zombie stuff. Not that I don't enjoy it, is that I can't sleep after. But so far I'm fine with it. I think it's because since it's sort of a period thingy, it doesn't feel like it feels like it's a story, not like it's a real thing that could happen. So my brain doesn't go too crazy with it. No spoilers though, guys. Keep the chat free of all kinds of spoilers. Please. I watched Christopher Robin on Netflix, and it was a really cute and fun movie, so I would recommend it. What else did I see? I watched the Ghost in the Shell movie. I've been watching a lot more things on Netflix because I've finally kicked my butt into exercising in the morning. So we have an elliptical machine here, so I get on that and I watch Netflix, so I don't die of boredom. So I've been watching a couple of more stuff lately because of that. Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh. Well, it was the Ghost in the Shell, the live action movie, because I hadn't seen that one, and I was pretty curious to compare it to my memory of the animated movie. But Christopher Robin is a really good movie, Otto. I think you would enjoy it. It's kind of refreshing in many aspects. So yeah, she has a sensitive heart. Hey, Anastasia, hi. Welcome, welcome. But it's well, I'm gonna have to talk to you about that movie in a place where I can perhaps expand a bit more, because it's not really spoilery, but like, how can I say this? Christopher Robin, it. I don't know what they did with the trailer. I haven't seen it. I hadn't even heard of the movie before Mr. E told me to watch it, and it's a really happy movie. It's not a sad movie. So in that regard, it's not like, that's kind of what I mean by refreshing. Yeah, but I mean, if the trailer is constructed in a way that doesn't really showcases the way the movie is made, that's what I'm trying to say. No. Oh, oh no, Otto. Anyway, it is a good movie, and it's not depressing or like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not too emotional bait-y. How can I say this? I don't know how to say this, guys. Hey, Don. I started crying before he said anything. But it's so. I mean, it's Winnie the Pooh. It's not bittersweet. That's the thing. The well, it is Winnie the Pooh. I mean, you cannot really work your way around that. First of all, it's set like when Christopher Robin is young. It's set in what, like the 1920s. So of course it's going to look like a really old love teddy bear. But yeah, the most sort of bittersweety part is the first 5 or 10 minutes. After that, it's kind of different. Seriously, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. That's fine. But I was really surprised because I was expecting something, you know, like bittersweet and a bit like Toy Story 3, you know, like this kind of like reality of life is so hard. But it's a much happier movie than I thought it would be. Like really. I was discussing it with Mr. E because he saw it first, and then he said, "Hey, you should really watch this. This is really rather good." And I was like, "Okay, well, I have time. I will." Oh, bye, Grace. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, so I watched the movie and I was surprised because it was not the usual treatment of these kind of things. You know, when you say a movie is, yeah, but that's good crying, isn't it? When we cry because something is happy, that's a good thing. It cleans out the ducts and everything. But yeah, it was really fun and good, and I was like happy to see it, and it was nice to see the actors in something that they are actually like it looked like they enjoyed it. The other thing I had seen Ewan McGregor in before was Fargo, so that was really different. That was really, really nice and different because the Fargo season that he's in, that was a roller coaster ride. It was really fun because, like I said, Mr. E watched the Christopher Robin movie first, and he usually watches movies when he's working on like the comics and stuff. So I was doing my thing like on my side of the office, and he was doing comic work on the other side, and I would hear him laugh. And I was like, what's so funny? He was like, oh, this line in the movie was really nice and funny. And I go, Pooh just said that, and oh, Eeyore just said that other thing. And I was like, hey, that's kind of a lot of funny lines that are actually, you know, really cute and funny. And I thought it was great. Not all tears are of an evil. Aw, Gandalf. I am so mad at the trailer they made for the second Lord of the Rings movies. I will never not be mad at that. It was such a dumb freaking trailer. Gosh, it was stupid. Hey Dawn, I'm glad you got them. I will have a Zircon Yellow at my next shop update, which should be quite soon. It will probably look the same as Dan's, because I'm pretty sure we got the pigment from the same place. So perhaps, I don't know, I know we don't exactly use the same kind of solution of binder and all of that. Yeah, so there might be some differences, but the base pigment is probably very similar, so I don't think it's going to be all that different. Oh, Inconus Joe! It's kind of like a movie. You have a cute cat. Cute cat. I don't really know where to work next. I'm really happy. I haven't watched it yet because it's I got it in Blu-ray and my computer doesn't really play Blu-rays, and I watch most of my stuff either on the elliptical on my phone, which also doesn't play Blu-rays, or when I'm like sketching. But anyway, all that to say, I got the documentary that is called Kedi. It's Turkish for cat, but the documentary is also in English. And I have been waiting for this to be released on home media for so long now. And I finally got it, and I can't wait. I'm like, we definitely need more cat videos, movies, documentaries, and stuff. I don't have enough. So I'm trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to add movies to my collection that are live footage of cats. Big cats, small cats, all cats. So I got this Kedi one. It's Kedi. Yeah. And I also bought on iTunes the ones about the tigers of Scotland, which is about one of the most adorable wild small cats I've ever seen. They are so fluffy and cute. I can't. Oh no, I would so go with you if I could, Oto. Nekoto Oji-san looks so freaking cute. And all the cats, I can't. It's the kind of movie, you know, when you bring Kleenexes and you're fine. Like, it's gonna be sad, but it's also gonna be full of cats and cats who are loved and people who love cats, and it's basically like going to watch a movie of my fellow cat people. Yes, Pickle is really sweet. She's a good kitty. Good kitty. Oh, I would, although if I could. We would bring like the whole box of tissues and all the grumpy. Oh yeah, of course, all the grumpiness went to Scout. She's a tortoiseshell. She called dibs on the grumpiness, and Pickle was like, "Oh, okay, fine. I'll have the cuteness then." And also the really, really, really stinky booze. Oh, okay, inking is joy. Yeah, but Pickle doesn't. Pickle never got the memo. We've had them for 8 years and Pickle has never covered her poops. So, yeah. Delicious. And it's always made in a way that she will go to the litter box while we are eating. And then the question is always, do we like get up and clean up after her? And when we say, no, we just sat down, too bad. We eventually get the ring of stink. It's like a donut-shaped cloud of stinkiness that spreads out from the release point. Like, if you are inside the ring, it doesn't smell. If you are outside the ring, it doesn't smell. But if you are at the ring, it's really disgusting. I'm sure that's the kind of stuff you want to know. Hey. A mushroom cloud of nuclear poop. Yeah. It's the mushroom ring of nuclear poop. Cloud ring? Ring cloud? Because it's really funny. If you are on either side of the ring, it really doesn't smell at all. But if you are exactly on the ring, then it's death. And we always comment like, but you're so cute, why are you so stinky? And our theory is that that's the price we have to pay for her being so cute, is that she's gonna be a stinky one. So bad. My cats are crazy before they have to go. Like, they will run around and make crazy noises, and then we're always like, take cover, and then a couple of minutes later we hear them digging in the litter box. Always. Oh my gosh, Lee, you killed me with your... I feel really bad for you though. I'm like, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with that. Cats are so unpredictable in that regard. You would think you just got an animal that is supposed to be like autonomous, but nope. Oh my gosh, cats are so random. Oh my god. I am gonna poop in the shower. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, it's just really funny. This paint is so transparent. Why? Like, I am putting more yellow on top of this overlap and it doesn't even show. Might have to improvise. Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? To try out stuff and figure out what works and what doesn't. Question, why did you ink it if you didn't want the lines to show through? Because I saw someone do that. Like, I was watching someone paint with acrylic gouache, and since I have no like formal training, that's usually how I learn. So I watch how other people handle the medium, and I saw this person using Holbein Acrylic Gouache, and she would sketch out her thing and then sort of paint on top of it, and the lines would eventually disappear. And I was like, wow, cool, that's a fun way to figure out the painting and paint without the lines. But definitely there's something I didn't quite understand of the process, or that I need to adjust to better match with the way I work. Like, perhaps this person uses the paints more opaque, or there's definitely something that doesn't quite translate. So I've learned that this doesn't really work for me. Same with, you know, trying to... because that's the thing. When you try to paint just in the zones of the colors, you might end up with having areas where you have gaps between the colors, and I find that really annoying. But if you paint sort of have overlap of the colors, sometime it's going to show through anyway. So I find it really difficult to figure out, personally. Yeah, I will take out the titanium white in a moment, because I think I've reached that point. I don't think I will be able to finish these paintings today, mostly because I don't really know what I'm doing. So there's a lot of trying and experimentation going on. That's one thing I'm trying to get better at, is to focus my attention on just a few mediums. Like, there's really no point in me having alcohol markers and gouache and watercolor and acrylic gouache. You know, I cannot do all of these. I can only work on a few of them, you know, because time is a actual constraint in life. So I'm trying to just focus on certain things that really speak the most to me. It's like, sorry, I keep having hiccups. Like, what does spark joy in a way, in terms of paint and mediums and what I enjoy doing. I definitely enjoy watercolor, so that is there to stay forever. But then I got to thinking, and I'm like, hey, you have colored pencils, do you even use those? And like, is it something that you want to spend time to focus on and get better at? And so yeah, I've been questioning a lot of stuff, is one way to put it. Like, even with watercolor, I have a lot of sets, so it's kind of I am using acrylic gouache. I love Neuron. It's such a funny cat. Oh, half bobcat. Whoa. Wow. How did you end up with a half bobcat cat? That was a good tip, Otto. Thanks for mentioning the titanium white. I know I mixed it with the yellow a bit here, but it's still doing a much better job at covering up this bluish color underneath than what I was trying to do before. It's really fitting for today, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry if you guys are offended by the topic. I kind of always find it a bit weird when people are offended by, well, poop stuff, because, well, everybody poops. Aw. Your acrylic pieces are gorgeous, Otto. I love them so much. I'm really angry. I haven't had, I don't really have any kind of framing places nearby that are nice and friendly, so I'm like, still have my paintings, and I'm like, I want to frame them, I want to put them on the wall, but I can't, so I just take them out and stare at them. But yeah, Otto's acrylics are lovely. I really, really like them. I kind of poured out some of this blue and I'm not even going to use it. I feel a bit sad about that. I guess that's life. What else? Oh yeah. I will probably end the live stream soon. I think perhaps I need to take a break and have my brain sort of process all I've been doing with the medium today, so that it can figure out new ways to fix things. Bye, Stephen. Yeah, I'm gonna Oh, thank you so much, Tsukabu. The golden acrylics are really, really nice. I agree. I have a few of them, and they are the one I enjoy the most. Well, aside from the acrylic gouaches. Though I had, because I finally tossed it, but I had a jar of Chartreuse from the inky golden line, and it kept separating, and that was really annoying. Ah, thank you so much for being there, Misha. Yeah, gouache is an interesting cousin, and especially acrylic gouache, because it's definitely not the same. But it has a lot of things in common, so yeah. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. The one thing perhaps that I find the most weird to try and grasp my head around about gouache is that if I leave paint on this, it's gonna dry and I'm not gonna be able to reuse them. And I've mostly used up all the colors except for the white and this blue that I poured and did not really touch. And I'm like, it kind of, it farts up my brain. All right, I'm gonna try and just have perhaps both of these on screen for a moment. So this is what I tried to do today, acrylic gouache. It's just acrylic paint that is matte. And I'm really not familiar with it, so I didn't progress all that much in those paintings, but I learned a lot, and that's the key thing, right? So I want to say thank you to everyone who's been here today while I tried this out, and who's been patient enough to let me try this out. I hope you have a great weekend, and I want to say thank you to everyone, and also a shout out to Otto Cano in the chat. She's my awesome moderator, and if you haven't seen her videos yet, I really encourage you to go check it out, because it is she makes really good videos about watercolors and colors, and it's really informative and helpful. So yep, go check out Otto. You can check out the description to this video for links and stuff usually. And yeah, we will see each other during the week and possibly next weekend. So have a great weekend and take care, everyone. Bye bye. Say bye, Pickle. Bye bye. Bye bye. She's like, no, leave me alone, I'm sleeping. Mom, I'm sleeping.